Okay, so we're on job 26. We're going to be taking a look at a science review. So we need to first off create our table here, and let's count how many rows we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it is an 8 by 4 table. So we'll go up to Insert, we'll go Table, and we're going to get 8 rows and 4 columns. Perfect. So let's format and merge the cells as appropriate. And the only thing I think we actually need to do is just this one. So I'll just right click and merge. And we're looking good. And now I'll type my science review in here. And this says measurement, unit symbol, and formula. All right. And I'm just going to go through and all of this typing I don't think I really need to do. I'll just copy it from where I already have it. Perfect. So you'll type that all out, no problem. And then the symbols. Symbols should be pretty easy for you. We have meters, and then it's meters squared. This little 2 is in the upper column there. So there's a couple ways to get there. You can use the keyboard shortcut, or we can just hit this little thing up here. It'll do a superscript, and then I can put my little 2 in there. And you'll notice something happened. It says, well, don't you want a capital to start a sentence? And you're thinking, no, I do not. I want that to be lowercase. So what you can do there is you can go in this little autocorrect option. You can just undo that automatic capitalization, and it'll turn it back. Microsoft Word's just trying to be helpful, but in this case, it's not helping us out at all. Okay, so the joule is a J, the watt is a W, newtons are an N, pascals is PA, and meters per second is that indeed. Okay, so our formula is again meters squared, so you got a couple options. If you are lazy like me, you would just copy and you would paste, and that would work really well. Or you could rewrite it out if you were so inclined to do so. And then you're going to run into that same problem with the auto capitalization, which we do not want, so I can just undo it again, and you're good. So either way you'd like to do it. Formula here, N times M, joules over seconds, kilograms times meters per second squared. And we just do that superscript again. And we're looking good. We just want to change that to a regular kg. And then we have newtons per meters. Newtons per meters squared. And meters per second. Okay, great. So I have all of my writing done, and now I want to get to some of the formatting. So it says this thing definitely needs to be bolded. It says it needs to be size 18, so let's pick 18. And then it needs to be centered as well. It looks like all of these column headings are centered, so we can go to our centered command or hit Control E. They're also bolded, so either bold or hit Control B. And I think we're looking pretty good there. I think everything else is looking pretty status quo. This column is right aligned, so we can hit our right align button. And this column is actually right aligned as well, so we can hit our right align button or hit Control R. And we're good. The only other thing we need to do is kind of adjust the widths of all of these columns to be appropriate. So we can drag and move them, or if you want to make it nice and quick, just double click, and this will move over for you to the appropriate width, which is what we should be doing here. Perfect. So now everything's nice and tight. This column's not, or this table is not wasting any space. And the other thing we have left to do is mess with some borders and mess with some shading. So let's do our shading first. So we'll just highlight the things that need to be in gray. So this will need to be in gray. So I'll go up to my table design, my shading. I can pick whatever color gray I want. Looks like a little bit of a darker gray, so I'll pick a little darker gray. Lovely. And then it alternates. So area is white. This row is gray. This row is gray. And this row is gray. Looks good. The only thing we have left to do is our borders, and these can be a little tricky, so make sure you're following the correct steps. So we have a double border on the outside, which means we want to make sure our border style is a double border, so I can pick my double border style. I'm going to pick this little darker one here instead of using the gray. And you notice it goes right to my painter. I don't want to use that. It's a little quicker if I just tell it which ones do I want to make a double border. Well, I want all of my outside ones to be a double border. No problem, we can do that. So we do that, and uh-oh, look what happened. It only did the cell that I highlighted. That's not what I wanted at all. To make sure that it's doing the entire thing, highlight your entire table. Easiest way to do that, click on this. All right, so we go here. We want to make sure we just do our outside borders, and that's what we're looking for. The next thing we want to do is we want to, if you take a look at the border between measurement and area, so between these two rows, it's like a single line and then a thick line. And so if we go to our border styles, we got a bit of an issue. It doesn't look like it's there at all. So what do? Well, there's a whole bunch more borders available to us. These are just the ones that are most commonly used. So we're going to actually have to go into here and go find it. And this is what we are looking for. So I'm going to click on that, and now we have this nice thick border here that we're going to be able to use. So where do I want to do it? I want it on the bottom of this row here. So I've changed my border to the appropriate style. It's looking good. Now if I hit this, it's going to be a problem because look what happens. Uh-oh, that's not what I want at all. I just want it on the bottom, so I'm going to undo that. Let's just use our bottom border here, and now our science review looks good enough to study from. It's job 26.